Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Kent for Thursday, April 8th, 2021, brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. Dr. Mike O'Neill, the best dentist that there is. He's been my only dentist the last 27 years. I know two things. I know sports. I know dentists. Dr. Mike, the best. Give him a call. When you find the best, you hire the best, right? 317-849-2933. That's all you got to do, make an appointment. All right, hit subscribe, hit like, ring the bell. Let's go. Let's talk about sports. Xavier Johnson coming to Indiana. The Pitt transfer announced yesterday on his Instagram account that he's going to come to IU, play in Bloomington. And what he is a 6'3" guard. He's a little bit heavier at 200 pounds than Al Durham. Al Durham was about 185, so Xavier Johnson, a little bit heavier, a little stronger, and a little bit more productive on the offensive end. But in a lot of ways, he is very, very similar to Al Durham, and he's kind of a plug and play. If you're a Moneyball guy, an analytics guy, Al Durham and Xavier Johnson, very, very similar. Their offensive ratings, Al Durham, 105.7 last year. Xavier Johnson, 105.8. Points per game, 11.3 for Al, 14.2 for Xavier. Assists per game, that's where the difference really is a little bit striking. And that's Xavier Johnson, 5.7 assists per game last year for a mediocre to bad Pitt team. Al Durham, 2.6 for a mediocre Indiana team. And from the foul line, they're almost identical. Al Durham, 78.6%, and Xavier Johnson, 78.7%. So that's a good thing. First thing I looked at, when you heard that Xavier Johnson was considering Indiana, I looked at the free throw percentage because I don't want to see Indiana miss free throws anymore. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of leaving points on the board because Indiana can't make free throws. Replacing one guy who is really good at it in Al Durham with another guy who's really good at it in Xavier Johnson. So good for Indiana. Trace Jackson Davis tweeted one of those stick figure things, well, I don't know, and a meme where a guy says, I think we ain't done yet. And then a guy, it's in a media thing, a guy asks a question, and kid goes, I think we ain't done yet. And the guy follows up, and the kid leans into the microphone, gets even a little more strident. I said, I think we ain't done yet. So we'll see what happens. Does that mean that Armand Franklin's coming back to Bloomington? We don't know. It's just fun. It's the off season. Of course, are we going to, hitch our wagon to the hopes and dreams of 18 to 22-year-olds down in Bloomington? You know what? November, yes. Now it's just fun. This is frivolous time. As you're a college basketball fan, speaking of college basketball fans, wow, what a lot of turnover we've had in the coaching ranks this offseason. Really, really good jobs getting turned over. North Carolina with Roy Williams retiring. Lon Kruger retires at Oklahoma. Shaka Smart takes the job at Marquette and leaves Texas. Now Sean Miller, and of course Archie Miller getting fired at Indiana. Sean Miller fired yesterday at Arizona. So they're looking for a coach. That's a hell of a job. They're probably going to keep that one in the family, as did North Carolina in the hire of Hubert Davis, which, of course, you predict. I mean, Hubert Davis had a nice broadcast career going, took the job on Roy Williams' staff. You figured that he was going to be the head coach in waiting at North Carolina. That turned out to be the case. 3 weeks until the NFL draft. And so we wonder exactly what the Indianapolis Colts are going to do, right? They select 21st, or they're scheduled to right now. I remember a couple of years ago, same deal. They were going to draft in the 20s. You get all excited for that Thursday night, and bing, bang, bong, they trade out of the first round. So there you go. That first night, you're kind of scratching your head saying, what do we do now? I was all excited about who the Colts were going to take. We're ready to release the news, and whap. Nope, they trade down. I think there are a couple of guys who, if they last to 21, you got a chance that the Colts are going to hang on to that pick and not trade out of the first round. One of them, Kwity Paye, who's an edge guy from Michigan. dynamic athletic abilities, maybe not the production that you would think that his athletic ability would generate when he was at Michigan. That could have been scheme. That could have been him just not getting the job done. But he is a dynamic, potentially dynamic edge rush guy in the NFL. And then you've got a left tackle. You got to get a left tackle if you're the Indianapolis Colts. And at left tackle, if you get a guy like Christian Darrisaw, or specifically Christian Darrisaw to fall to 21, I think you take Christian Darrisaw. I think that's where the shelf is. You got the three guys in that top level at left tackle. And then beyond that, I think it's a step down to guys like Sam Cosmi and others. And we talked about Alex Leatherwood yesterday. He's going to wind up being a guard. The more I look at him, the more I think he's going to be a guard and not a left tackle. Pacers last night, 141-137 winners over Minnesota. That game was at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And the Pacers, they took a 21-point lead at half, and then they almost gave the damn thing away in the fourth quarter, despite the fact that they could not miss shooting the basketball. How about the Holiday brothers last night? Aaron Holiday, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, and then Justin Holiday, 5 of 8 from beyond the arc. The Holiday brothers combined to go 9 of 12. If they don't shoot it the way they shot it, the Pacers, they lose that game last night. T.J. McConnell, 19 and 15. T.J. McConnell, this is what I love about watching T.J. McConnell. McConnell goes toward the rack. He kind of just, slides in and out of the lane, and then he comes to the lane, and he sort of picks, and he looks like he's going to dish. And guys sort of back off, and he lays it in off the glass. And you got a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, and this happened multiple times last night, where McConnell cleverly puts it up off the glass, and Towns just stands there and watches. And you see Towns just kind of lose the will to live, where he's watching, he sees McConnell do what he does, and he just goes, and he hangs his head. I love that. That is fun for me to watch. You got a guy with all the ability in the world and all the size in the world defending the rim, and he can't get it done against, an industrial league player like T.J. McConnell. But don't sleep on T.J. McConnell, and let's not call him an industrial league player. He's not. He is a really, really good, really athletic in his own way basketball player. He knows how to play the game, and knowing how to play the game, coupled with his athletic gifts, keeps him in the league, and he getting paid, right? That's what T.J. McConnell gets done, and he hit a 3 last night, which is almost unfathomable. I watch him shoot in practice a lot, or I did when we were allowed to go to practice before COVID. And the odds of him knocking down a 3, not significant. All right, the Masters today. Masters getting ready to tee up finally. We got a spring Masters, and boy, if you're going to bet against DJ, I think you're out of your mind. I would look for Dustin Johnson to be very, very competitive. Jordan Spieth, I think, shot his wad at the Texas Open. You got other guys. Rory McIlroy always has a chance. Patrick Reed always has a chance. I think Patrick Reed's going to be good. It's going to be tough this week. I think maybe an old guy going to be able to put up numbers because it's been dry down in Augusta. We'll see how that pans out. I'm just looking forward to sitting on the couch and watching coverage of the Masters in the month of April. Seems like spring has sprung. I mowed the lawn again yesterday. It's phenomenal. And you know it's spring because the Cubs can't hit. They got beat yesterday by the Brewers 4-2 because they can't hit. I think they've had 12 hits in their last 4 games. They're a pathetic offensive team. And, the more I watch this team, and we saw it last year in that kind of shortened 60-game season, they couldn't hit then. They can't score runs. They've got Contreras, they've got Baez, they've got Rizzo, and they've got Bryant. Who the hell cares? Why are you going to spend huge money on these guys? And I know, I love these guys for what they did in 2016, but if you're going to pay them for what they project to do moving forward the next 6-7 years, you're not going to pay them a lot of money. Even if you're like, I can't stand Tom Ricketts as an owner of the Cubs. But I'll tell you what, if Jed Hoyer comes to Ricketts and says, hey, I need $20 million a year to sign all 4 of these guys at 20, so that's a total of $80 million, I'm kicking him out of my office and down the stairs. These guys can't hit. They don't play with any joy whatsoever, except for Contreras. I love the joy of Contreras. The other guys, based on productivity, you can have them. Let's celebrate some birthdays, shall we, on this Thursday? It's a little bit sprinkly out today, but not a bad day, and it's going to be beautiful tomorrow. Nice day, take off early and go to a place like the Dugout downtown. It's an idea. Birthdays being celebrated by Facebook friends today. George Tomanovich, happy birthday. James Smith, Leslie Bernstein, John Moore, Leon Cooper, and Teresa Davis. If today's your birthday, you celebrate like hell. If it's not your birthday, you celebrate somebody else. That's best done with an honest and specific compliment. Today, Inside Indiana Sports Now, it's going to post Indiana basketball and what we expect to happen with Armaan Franklin. We made a plea, or at least we gave some advice to Armaan Franklin yesterday, trying to help, because every Cathedral parent is a parent to every Cathedral kid. That's the way it works at Cathedral. I'm a Cathedral parent, so I shared my perspective with Armaan Franklin. There you go. And we'll talk about the Colts and the draft. We're breaking down a lot of different guys in the offensive line category, that left tackle category. Can't wait to do that this afternoon. We'll talk to you about 3 o'clock. Subscribe, like, let's go.